As like my Napoleon lighter. I don't smoke, but I find lighters interesting. Sorry for this intro. I want you to imagine that you are the dumbest kid in the class. I want you to imagine not that you're like legit brain dead, but you have the lowest grades in a class full of nerds, where grades mean everything. Your grades mean your social status and your chances of making intelligent friends, because everyone has good grades and you're the only dumb kid in the class. A pretty bad situation, isn't it? Well, that was the situation for my first 2 years of high school. I was legit the class dumbass. I had grades like class average, me, second worst kid, me. I was in a pretty bad situation. So I want to talk about my experience as the dumbest, most unpopular guy in school for 2 years, because I got out of there. The biggest problem that I had when I got in first time in the high school, it was that in middle school I came in very arrogant. I got high grades easily without really studying, just by, I don't know, doing my stuff, like just by existing. I had good grades, mostly because the teachers didn't really expect much from us. We just fooled around and we got good grades anyway, mostly by hustling, like cheating and stuff like that. But when I got into high school, somehow I got to the best high school in my county, where teachers had very high expectations. And also it didn't help that in my year, the seats for this high school were cut in half. So that means that my class, who was supposed to have 26 seats for children, this time had 14. So my class was cut in half and mixed with another one who was cut in half. So basically, from what it was from the last year, from a pool of 52 students, it was a pool of 26. So it was an interesting situation for me. Somehow I got into this class, which was the best class inside my county in Romania. Which, not to brag, but I found out later that it was such a big difference compared to like the country average. In mathematics, at the final exams, my class, which is from a remote county, not from a big city, scored this as the second best high school, like in mathematics, in the entire country. And this is something I found out after finishing. But just to explain, I was in a pretty hardcore class for Romania. When a cocky little kid that doesn't study, doesn't have a work ethic, and all he does really is scroll on Instagram and play video games, goes into high school, where there's a bunch of kids whose learning capabilities have been trained in middle school for like 4 years, and you are nowhere near them, you're gonna being left behind. And I was left behind very quickly. The problem is that when you get to that position, you are in such a spot of like, and after my impression of myself that I was this smart kid was shattered because my results were literally of the dumbest kid in the group, I started feeling like the dumbest kid in the group and I started acting like it. And that means that I closed myself from people and I had an absolutely horrible social life. Really, my mental health issues that I had back 2 years ago, those mental health issues were not because of my poor results in school or that the teachers made fun of me for being the dumbest kid in class, because teachers did do that. They told me that I should like change class or move away because this class is not for me, I'm too stupid. And that's also amazing self-esteem boost. But the problem was not where my mental health issues came from, because my mental health was on an all-time low back then, because shattered ego, no self-respect whatsoever, and that I truly believed that I was dumber than everyone in the class, but like biologically there is something wrong with me. This video is a little bit like for the people who are in my shoes today, who are like on the lower end of the class and they feel behind, they feel lower, they feel like there's nothing in their control to change anything. And I want to tell you guys that I was there and it feels so bad. It feels like you hate every moment you stay there. You hate every moment around the people who you think are completely superior to you. They don't, but they just ignore you because in their mind you just are a shy individual who doesn't want attention, so they don't give it to you. Because I don't think any of my classmates thought of me as a dumb student. Like, none of them did. But it's just like how I felt when, for example, we got our grades in a test, and it was always me, like always me who had like the lowest grade. It was like, okay, because usually my math teacher or my computer science teacher used to do this. She would take the tests out and she would tell the grades in decreasing order. Like she would tell she would get the tests and she would say the names of the guys or the kids with the highest grade first. And I was always the last one. And I knew everyone knew I had the lowest grade every single time. And it was so annoying. It was like, it would get to me so easily because it's like, okay, I get it. I'm the dumbest kid in the class, but can you not prove it to anyone? Can you not let everyone know? So if you feel in the same situation, I can tell you, because I got out of there. I got out of there in 2 years, and I can help you get out of there in 2 weeks. It's that simple. So there is a couple things you need to do. First of all, you most likely have a bad habit that kills your time. For example, I already had like a little bit of a time issue because kids from my town, from the town where I went to school, they were all living close to the school. And when school ended, they would just go home and study and work on this and that. I had to commute 70 kilometers, like the road to school and back to school was like 80 kilometers. It took time, like 2 hours of my day were just on the road. And with kids, if we finished school at 2 p.m. and kids in my class would get home, already eat, and get ready to study or rest a little bit, at 3 or 4 p.m. they would start studying hard. At 4 p.m. I just arrived home. And it was frustrating because I already lost 2 hours due to the fact I had to commute. And I also lost time because I got home and the only thing I was thinking during class, during everything, was video games. For me, I know it's kind of cringe, but I used to play Hearts of Iron 4 very much. And it's a very addictive game because I actually think I'm going to make a video about this and actually explain why this game is so fucking addictive. I'm so glad that I escaped this vice of mine because it was eating the most of my time. I used to stay up late in night and play. But I'm glad I got rid of it. Like, that's one of my biggest accomplishments, which I know how I did it. I exchanged the game with real life. But I'm going to make a separate video if you guys want. I used to play a lot, and the first thing, I would throw my bag on the counter right there, and I would straight up go to my computer and play until night, and I wouldn't even do my homework. Of course I was the dumbest kid in class, but the whole idea, like the whole game, the entirety of my routine when I got home, it was the exact, like, it was fueled by my poor mental health created at school. Because when I was playing Hearts of Iron 4, I was a leader of a country, doing important decisions that decided the lives of millions. I was important and I was safe. I was in the video game world. I escaped reality in which I was the biggest nobody in the class. When I woke up and go back to school, the hell would start again. So you have to understand which is your vice, and it's usually one of these two. It's either you scroll the internet and you consume too much content, which I believe it's harder to escape content consumption than video games, because content consumption, there's benefits in it because there's good content. But in video games, you cannot really say that there's like good video games, because like the actual good, like chess, for example, which actually like trains your brain a little bit, you get bored easily. There's very few people that can play chess for 6 hours. There isn't like no hidden benefit to video games. Like a lot of people say, a lot of cope, like hand-eye coordination or teamwork, or you can make friends. You can make better friends online with other directions. You can play a real sport like football and or basketball to train your eye and coordination and team skills. Is just a cope, okay? For most kids, it's video games who are in my situation, or content consumption. With content consumption, I want you to identify maximum 10 content creators on all platforms, 10 cumulated on TikTok, Instagram, whatever you want. I suggest you delete Instagram and TikTok, especially if like you have a big exam coming up that you need to nail. Because let's be honest, they are only distractions. Like the amount of good information you're going to get from 1 hour of Instagram or TikTok consumption, it's like in minuscule. Like if you get one educational reel in a 1 hour scroll, it's good. YouTube is not that easy, but I would suggest that like you would go on all these platforms if you don't feel the strength yet to just like close off Instagram and TikTok. I would really suggest that you go and count on all platforms cumulated 10 creators that are good for you, that are teaching you something, that you learn something from, and only subscribe to them and watch only them. If you see something in your feed that's not from them, go on I'm not interested, and you will clean your internet consumption. Because learning and like good content, you can binge it if the content creators are making it interesting enough, but you cannot like get instantly lost in it. And even if you do, it's not that bad as if you got lost in like watching memes. So you must identify this black hole of time that's taking the time away from studying and putting it into studying. Now, the second tip is pay attention in school. Now, this is, it's obvious, but a lot of you guys, and because I know that you are just like me, because I'm talking to younger me, I know that you guys want to focus in class, but your mind just wanders away. And what does it wander away? On your video games or on some stupid bullshit. And for this, there's no better habit than meditation. And meditation is legit, just you sit there in complete silence, in a comfortable position, and you just breathe in, hold it for a bit, and let it out. And all you have to do is focus on your breathing. And when your mind doesn't focus on your breathing anymore, like it wanders away and starts thinking about stupid stuff again, you just re-get your brain there. And do this for 3, 5, 10 minutes every day, how much you can. But like treat it like the gym. If you get to 3 minutes and you are good at 3 minutes, like you can do 3 minutes of meditation easily, amp it up to 4, amp it up to 5, like progressive overload meditation, and you will get amazing benefits. Because the difference between you and the smart guy in the class who gets grades without even studying at home is not that he's some kind of genius. Maybe there are some people that are like real geniuses. The only difference between you and him is that he focuses 90% of the lesson and you focus 10% of the lesson. That's the biggest difference. So your classmate who has good grades and doesn't even try, doesn't even do his homework, but he still gets good grades and your grades are shit, is because he focuses during class. I agree, the teacher has a lot to do with this, but if your concentration skills are maxed out, there is no teacher that you cannot focus on. So focus during class and train your focus. That's all you need to do to focus in class. Meditation, and try to consume less shorts. With these two, you are going to do better. But the one you do great with, I almost, like, to put it in perspective how much this helped me, I almost failed mathematics in 9th and 10th grade. I almost failed mathematics. Like, mathematics was my nemesis. I almost failed. I finished with, like, my final exam results at mathematics was 99%. I'm good at math now because of these. But the third secret I'm going to share with you today is the skill that everyone needs to evolve and to get better. Because I know in your mind right now, when you feel bad, when the teacher mocks you for being an idiot, when the kids in your school make fun of you for being an idiot, your brain rewires your negative feelings outward. You point out at other people. You point out at the teacher for hating you. You point out at your colleagues for being teacher's pet. But you know what you have to do is practice self-accountability. If I wouldn't have been self-accountable, and if I wouldn't wake up one day and say, you know what, maybe the reason why I feel like shit, maybe the reason why the kids make fun of me in my class, the reason why the teachers mock me for being an idiot is me. The only one responsible for how bad I feel today is me. Because instead of doing something and changing my reality, I used to go and play video games until midnight, get bad sleep, go to school, not pay attention, not train at home, not do my homework or study, and then I expected good results. How? So I was dead ass. Okay, it's my fault. I need to drop my ego. I need to rebuild myself. And I did. And that's the biggest reason. I'm not still in that stupid rut that I happened to be for such a long time. 2 years of being in a rut of absolutely crippling mental health. I thought about killing myself. I legit thought what's the point? I had zero social interaction, zero friends. How was I supposed to live when the biggest percentage of my life, this is actually how my life was for 2 years. Go to school where everyone hated me or thought that I was an idiot or a lesser human, and then come home and just play video games by myself, alone, single player, because I didn't have friends. So that's the life of someone who's going to kill himself. But just because of self-accountability, just because I was you know what, maybe the fact that I'm so fucking stupid right now, the reason why I'm in such a bad situation right now is me. The reason why I'm a social outcast is me. If you feel like shit, it's your fault. If you feel great, it's your fault. You deserve the consequences of your actions. I deserved mine. If this video doesn't get any views, I deserve it. It means the video was shit. So that's why I'm not gonna quit. If you have self-accountability, I have zero faith you're gonna fail on the monumental scale of things. Because you take accountability. You change after failure. You don't point it outwards and remain the same. If you have this, you don't need anything else. Every successful person, at least in his own mind, admits the failure. And remember, if you do the right things, time and God will be on your side.